What is up, mis amigos? Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, we are talking about quarter-mile times for the Ecoboost Mustang. So what I've got here is 3 time slips, and I'll go ahead and post a picture somewhere in the video, maybe now, of a more detailed shot of the time slips. That way you can kind of look at all the stats and assess for yourself how bad those runs actually were. There's 3 time slips there. I was able to get 3 runs in that night, and that's kind of all I wanted to do anyways. I told myself before I went to the track, I was going for 3 runs. So if I was able to get any more than that, I wouldn't have, because I just wanted to get 3 runs in, just to get a feel for the track, right? The car is still faster than stock, as you would expect it to be, considering that the car has a Stage 3 package from Cobb Tuning and is running their 93 octane tune. Now I get it. Some people said the same thing. They said, I would have thought that the car would have been faster at the track. And I agree. I completely agree that I would have thought the car would have been faster too. And actually, the truth is that this car is probably much faster than a 14.0. The limiting factor here is me as a driver. That was my first time at the track, and I can tell you right off the bat that every single launch for those 3 passes was horrible. They were all bad. And if I had to choose which launch was the best one, it would have probably been the first launch that I did, where I ran a 14.2. But even then, it was still not that good of a launch. And there was a lot of wheel hop on the takeoff, and they were all bad. The second and the third launch, it was like, I just kind of bogged, and then I picked up speed. So there's a lot of room for improvement, and I'm pretty sure if I can improve on the launch, we can definitely get this car into the 13s, hopefully the next time we go to the track. So not only that, but I didn't really work on my shift points. I really didn't try to keep a consistent shift point or anything. I know on the forums and other people have said that it seems like the best RPM to shift that, it's about 5,500 to 5,700 RPM. There was another Ecoboost Mustang owner there who I raced on the second and third run, so the runs in which I got a 14.3 and a 14.0. And the last slip, this guy actually got a personal best. He ran a 13.7, and his Ecoboost Mustang was sporting a methanol kit, injection kit, or whatever it is, the one that you can buy on Tune Plus's website. He was tuned by Tune Plus. He had the wastegate actuator, the Tune Plus or Turbo Smart wastegate actuator, and I think that was about it. And he had some aftermarket wheels, and maybe he had an upgraded intercooler as well, and possibly a exhaust. I don't remember if it was a turbo back or if it was just a cat back or what it was. I don't remember. But that's kind of what he had. So I figure with his mods and the mods that I have done to the car, we should probably be running at about the same horsepower. So if he ran a 13.7, then I'm pretty sure this car is capable of running somewhere around the same time and possibly even faster. But again, the limiting factor is not the car. The limiting factor is me right now. And so I think the next time I go, I'm probably going to try to use launch control and just see what happens. I mean, why not? I mean, it's on the car. Why not try to use it? And I'll probably launch at the lowest RPM, see what that does, and see if I can get a much better launch that way. Not only that, but it might not be a good thing to use launch control, because the tires on stock tires, I don't think are really that good for launching the car. I mean, they're just stock tires, so they weren't put on this car for that purpose. But other than that, I consider my time at the drag strip, my first time actually at the drag strip. I mean, there was a first time for everything. First time going to the drag strip, first time racing at the drag strip, first time doing a burnout. It wasn't even a burnout, but this is the first time for a lot. And so there was kind of a lot to learn. There was a lot to pay attention to. There was, I was nervous. There was just a lot that went on. But I got to say that I had a really, really good time at the track, and I consider it very successful because I made 3 successful passes. I didn't miss gears or money shift or anything like that. Each pass was successful and as best as it could be to my ability. Like I said, the times weren't that impressive, but the fact that I went and had a good time, made it back home with no problems, definitely is considered a win for me. So I guess this next part will be for people who haven't necessarily been to the track, or maybe, you know, if you've been to the track, chime in down below in the comment section. Leave your comments. You know, what's your experience at the track? Oh, also comment if you're an Ecoboost Mustang owner and you also run your car at the track. Comment your time down below, and you know, and maybe your mods too or something, and see maybe if you have a similar setup, similar horsepower and torque, and you can give me some insight into what I can plan to look forward to in terms of times. So I'll just go ahead and walk you through what happened at the track, right? So, I mean, I've done my research kind of, and I knew that when you go to the track, you obviously got to pay to get in, right? Test and tune. And then you got to go through tech inspection. So basically, the people at the track have to look at your car to make sure that it's worthy enough to go down the quarter mile, and hopefully nothing's going to break. So when I got to the track, I asked the people, you know, where you pay, because right when you drive into the track, you pay at the whatever, the little kiosk. I mean, I don't know what it's called, the little booth or whatever. Anyways, I asked these people, where do you go from here? Because I've never been here before, right? I've never been there. Where do I go? And what the girl that was working at the booth was like, you see that red Mustang over there? And I see the red Mustang driving. And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, follow that guy. And I'm like, okay. So I go follow that guy, and he gets into I don't think it's the staging area. I think the staging area is actually at the strip. But where you basically line up to signify that you're going to race. I don't know if that's the pits or what. I don't know. I don't know any of this. This is all new to me. But anyways, I get behind some other, you know, more stock looking like cars, and I'm like, I don't think this is the tech area. I think this is where you're actually lined up to race, and I haven't passed tech inspection yet, so something's wrong. So I get off the car, and I ask somebody there, you know, where's tech inspection at? And he's like, oh, you got to go way over there. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's wonderful. Even the people that work there don't even know what to do. So I go to tech inspection, and it was really fast. And I guess because the car is kind of so new, so there's not really much to really look at, because it should be a pretty stout car. There shouldn't really be anything mechanically wrong with it at this point. So I, you know, passed tech inspection, no problem. They gave me my number. I went back to the staging area, or the lanes, whatever it's called. And, you know, I kind of parked, and I noticed everybody kind of got out of their cars and just kind of started mingling with each other. And I was like, okay, well, that's pretty cool. So I kind of just waited in my car for a few minutes, and then I see this guy who's driving a Honda Civic hatchback, kind of standing off by himself. And I'm like, you know what, I'm going to go talk to this guy, because I've never been here before. He looks like he has, maybe. So I'm going to go talk to him. So I went to talk to this guy, and I just started asking him the most very basic, dumb questions that I could. I was like, so I've never been here before. What happens up there? Basically, up there is where, you know, the cars were actually lining up and racing. And so then he started kind of walking me through everything and telling me, you got to pay attention to this person. This person's going to basically signal you to go up. If you have street tires, typically you're going to go around the burnout box. If you want to do a burnout, you can back up to the water. Or if you have slicks, you can just, and skinnies in the front, you can just drive through it. Whatever. He was kind of giving me some pointers, and he was like, you got to pay attention to this guy. This guy's going to signal you when to do your burnout. And then once you do your burnout, you're going to line up at the tree. There's going to have to be two lights. One is going to signify that you're kind of, you know, you're ready, or kind of almost ready. And then the second light signifies that you're ready to go. Once both lights are illuminated on your side and the other side, then the tree will go and you can launch at the third yellow light or whatever, right? So he was kind of walking me through it, and I was just kind of asking, you know, very simple, dumb questions. But I think that's very important. Even though you might feel dumb for asking these questions, I think it's important, because not every racetrack is the same. So yes, you can learn a lot about a racetrack on YouTube, but there might be some subtle differences that you can ask just the people that are there locally, or who frequently go, and they'll kind of walk you through, you know, the etiquette and everything, to make sure that you have a successful time at the track, and to make sure that you're not ruining anybody else's time at the track, because that kind of sucks too, right? I mean, if you do something wrong and the person behind you, their pass ends up being inhibited by what you did, then that kind of sucks for the person before you, because you just ruined their pass. Like I said, I only got 3 runs. I got there at about 7 o'clock, I think a little bit after, and by the time I left, it was 11. I left after my 3rd run, so that's pretty much not even a run an hour. So a lot of waiting involved. So yeah, you really want to make sure that, you know, you're going to have a good pass, but also the other people behind you are going to have a good pass. So anyways, that's going to be it for now. Like I said, I know the times weren't that impressive. There's a lot of room to grow, which I'm hoping that I can do hopefully next time I go to the track. Hopefully we'll break into the 13s. That'll be the goal. And we'll see where we go from there. Anyways, I'm going to end the video off here. Make sure to leave a comment down below. Leave your best time or chime in on anything that you want to give feedback about. Also hit that like button. Remember to subscribe to stay up to date, because we will be going back to the track with this car, and we're hopefully going to break into the 13s and see from there where we can improve. Thanks so much for watching. As always, I'm Steven, out here hanging out, having fun. See you in the next video.